So Stargirl on DC Universe and the CW is now 4 episodes in, and I gotta say, I'm really enjoying this show so far. The best way I can describe this show is like Spider-Man meets Hot Fuzz meets a little bit of Sky High, which sounds strange, but it really, really works and makes for a pretty fun show. The show follows Courtney Whitmore, who moves to a small town of Blue Valley, Nebraska, after her mother marries her stepfather, Pat Dugan. But Pat was a sidekick of an old JSA superhero, the JSA being the Justice Society of America, which are like the cooler, older predecessors of the Justice League. Courtney soon finds out about the legacy of the JSA and her stepfather's other job and decides to pick up the mantle and become Stargirl. From a storytelling perspective, I love the how way the show is built. The show is built kind of around a mystery regarding the town and the characters in the town and the high school, which kind of brings the homage or connection to Hot Fuzz, which is ironic because Timothy Dalton over there on Doom Patrol plays the chief. But the probably the best part about the show is how it's building up to this mystery and this intrigue and eerie feeling about the setting and the other side characters and the villains being the Injustice Society of America, and the way they kind of built up to this story and building up the villains and not just having like your average freak of the week super villain that Stargirl has to fight. No, they're really building up like a more cinematic, probably closer to like the Netflix shows or even Doom Patrol, building up a large story divided over the 13 episodes. Jeff Johns is the showrunner of the show, and he created the character of Stargirl to be based off of his late sister who passed away. And you can really tell that he put so much effort and heart into this show, from the production, the special effects, the CGI, the practical effects, which are way more than I would have expected in a show like this. The sets, the costume design, every single costume on this show looks awesome. You can just tell that Jeff Johns gave it his all to make this show so special, and I'm so glad that a character like Stargirl and the JSA are getting this treatment. And one of my favorite parts about the show is how it's just embracing the sillier aspects of the comics it's based off. They don't try to be edgy or cool or do anything like disgraceful with the characters or do anything really detached with the characters. They embrace the sillier side of the comics. Even the names they poke fun of sometimes, like Star Spangled Kid, Stripesy, the Injustice Society of America, and it's always hilarious. So that's probably like a good way of doing it when so many movies and shows shy away from just straight up adapting and representing the more ridiculous side of the comics. And I'm just glad that Stargirl is doing that, because the JSA and Stargirl are more kind of larger than life characters, and not like they're not like Batman, dark and gritty, and that's where all the fun comes in. The best way I can probably compare Stargirl is a little bit like Spider-Man, because they do give Courtney such a heartfelt and relatable, familial connection and story, and it makes her so likable and relatable, and you can just buy into why she's doing this, why she's becoming a superhero. And that's probably the best arc of the show. I also love Pat Dugan, her stepfather, aka Stripesy, aka Stripe, as an acronym. Pat was a sidekick of one of the old JSA heroes, and he loves being a sidekick. There's an incredible scene where he explains to Courtney why being a sidekick was so special and why it was so important to him. And it gave us kind of a new and often unseen superhero that's just the sidekick with a good heart that didn't try to move away from his hero like Robin or so many other sidekicks. in comics is just he's just a good guy with a good heart, with like the classic oh geez, aw shucks, golly gee attitude, and it makes for a really fun character. I really just I'm really excited for what the show can do with its characters because there's so much to pull from. The show is mainly based off of the Stars and Stripe comic from the 90s, which was also written by Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns' JSA from 1999, which has many of the side characters introduced on the show, and a little bit of Infinity Inc. sprinkled in there. I just can't wait to see the future of the show. I hope it goes on for many seasons because there's so much they can do with it. I'm glad the show like this exists and being done by DC Universe and the CW. And they're even talking about doing a possible crossover with the Arrowverse shows like Supergirl and Flash. And I think that would be pretty damn fun doing a crossover where Courtney moves over to Earth Prime because the show is based on Earth 2, and getting to see the Arrowverse characters like Supergirl or the Flash or Superman, and getting a Justice League Justice Society crossover like the classic Silver Age crossover comics would be pretty damn cool. So if you guys been watching the show, sound off in the comments below what you think about the show so far. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you hope to see? And I'll see you in the next video.